It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, it wasn't a dream after all.
All jam updates available. Click anywhere on the ground or hold left mouse button continuously to begin exploring. Understood. Okay.
I don't even remember them strapping me down.
It's been a good night. Press and hold middle mouse button while dragging to rotate the camera, zoom in or out using the mouse scroll up, scroll down. Oh. Okay. It is a point and click, yes.
I don't even remember them strapping me down. Not a very chatty fellow, are you?
Okay. Okay. So, things show up in white if we want to have a look at them, so that's good. We got here. Small tome. Game saved. Okay, I moved slightly. To read books or notes, open your inventory and interact with the object. Understood. Press I to access your character. Okay. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Okay. This is your inventory. Everything you pick up is stored here. Press right mouse button on objects in your inventory to find out what you can do with them. Okay.
Oh, my, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
Okay. We can read that. We have long too presumed Source as a virtuous part of civil society. Yet we need look no further into the past than the Source King's reign to understand the havoc such magics may wreak. One day, another order must follow in the Source Hunter's footsteps. Sorcerers must be muted. The new model of Source collars provided by Vredeman is proving most effective. Okay. Turn the pages there. Oh, okay. So what else have we got? A backpack, seemingly bottomless. Open. Nothing in it. Okay. Use a backpack to store grenades, arrows, or potions. Place it in your hotbar to quickly access its content. Oh, okay. And we can put that in. Excellent. Okay. Knockdown arrow, fire arrow, minor healing potion. Got those there. Direction scroll, we can do that later. Threadbare gown, threadbare pants, and a Source collar. Cannot be unequipped. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that highlights lots of things to look at. I'm not sure how much we're going to use that. Oh. Okay. Laboratory stuff. Dusty and crusty lab equipment has been used recently. But what you'd rather not think about. And drop it. I don't need the space at the moment. Why not? We'll keep it. Okay, we can turn that off and on. Just pinching everything. Range jar. What I wanted to do.
Oh, my, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
Oh, she's off on the bath salts. Right, I've got a thing over there we can loot. Oh, you can combine it with other things. What are wares? This stuff you can sell. Mark items as wares to sell them in one batch. Hold left shift and press left mouse button on an item. You're inventory to mark it as wares. Okay, so yeah. Okay. A little bit of gold always goes handy. Okay, we can turn that off.
Ah, you're up.
Lesions.
Yes.
No trauma.
Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
Okay.
There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Not sure I
In
like
the
her.
meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
At least you said logs then and not dogs.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
You pull at the thing around her neck futilely, demand to know why she collared you, give the Magister a quick salute and report for duty on the good ship. Possibly not. Look around warily and wonder what damnable dungeon you ended up in this time. Make your leave. I think we're going to go with this one.
Dungeon? You have the gall to call my laboratory a dungeon? Oh, I'd be quite annoyed with you, if you didn't look so honestly perplexed.
Okay.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
I think I know that actor. Interesting.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy.
Not Fort Greyjoy, just Fort Joy. That sounds like a lovely place. Is it a holiday camp?
A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending.
Why not?
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
You recall great powers building inside you, the ones you commanded before your capture. Unleash them. Might be playing a trick, don't do it. I don't think I've got any source powers, at least. Not sure I selected any.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Oh, go on.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source.
Not sure I like this, Magister Siwan.
For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Talk about overbearing governments. Unupdated, troubled.
Oh, everything's spick and span.
Okay.
Nothing left to do, really.
So what do we got? The Magisters, day 1, 11:30. Though he is a sorcerer and wears a source collar, Bishop Alexander continues to lead the Divine Order. He is the son of Lucian. It is widely assumed he will succeed him as the next Divine. Chapter 1, the Merryweather. Day 1, 11:30. Lucian the Divine, champion of the Seven Gods, the saviour of Rivellon, is dead. He sacrificed himself to defeat the forces of the Void, leaving his son Alexander to preside over the next chapter of Rivellon's history. But Lucian's sacrifice did not buy peace. Instead, the years that followed were plagued by the menace of Voidwoken. These beasts were drawn to source magic and left death and destruction in their wake. Incapable of wielding the divine powers that his father had at his disposal, Alexander has resorted to harsher measures in order to stop the Voidwoken. A great pogrom has commenced against sorcerers, those who showed the most skill in the manipulation of source. Encouraged by his most trusted advisor, Dallas, Alexander has decreed that all sorcerers must be resettled in isolated colonies where they cannot pose a threat to the rest of Rivellon. One such colony is the ancient island stronghold of Fort Joy. It is to this place that I, a captive sorcerer, am being sent. Anyway, chapter 1, the Merryweather. Oh, that was the one we just read. Troubled Waters. Day 1, 12:03. Been told to look for Magister William at the stern of the ship in order to be registered.
He seemed quite averse to spending time.
Perhaps we can explore a little before we go to him. Day 1, 11:30. Oh, this was written the other way around. We're sorcerers being transported to Fort Joy, an ancient fortress on a remote island where Magisters of the Divine Order have established an internment camp. Collar, Ashlyn.
Who?
I am bound by a magical collar that cannot be removed. Excellent. Right. What's this? Better watch yourself. I don't have patience for thieves. Okay. So don't click on those then. Press C to enter sneak mode and steal some property while the owner isn't looking. Oh, okay. Right. Nothing over here. So I guess we go out the door.
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
A young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Okay.
Good God. There's been a murder here.
Blood can be electrified or frozen. Okay.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Avoid looking into the room between the lurching ship and the smell of blood. You feel a little sick? No. Peer into the room and ask what happened.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
Okay.
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Always does? Ask if this sort of thing happens often.
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods.
Small one.
We'll find out who did it, one way or another. Nothing to see here.
Okay. Right.
It seems as though there's a pattern in the blood flow. That can't be natural.
I don't particularly want to walk barefoot through blood. That seems like a bad idea.
Ugly sight, isn't it?
Nice, hood thing.
Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwoken followed the source that did this.
You're extremely lucky no void walker follow the source that did this. Ask why she's letting you so close to the crime scene. For all she knows, you could be the killer. No, I think that's been covered already. Inform her that she wasn't this man's protector, she was his captor.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir.
That's because I was drugged up to the eyeballs.
You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
That's a trick I haven't quite mastered.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
No, what I think I'll do is I'll tell her I'll let her know if I hear anything interesting, but I don't really have any interest in helping someone who's put a collar around my neck. I will tell her what she wants to hear.
Thanks. I just want to catch whoever did this before they hurt anyone else.
Poetry book.
Oh my, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
Oh, she's off on the bath salts again.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the
A woman from Driftwood with nary a care offered me kisses that answered my prayer. I accepted her gift, and then to my dismay, spider she was, and I her buffet. Once feasting was over, she licked her red lips, rose from the floor, still coming to grips. She thanked me for coming and bade her farewell. My prayer indeed answered, though still I did swell.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
How rude. Okay. Looks like it goes up, so we'll head out here for now.
Why won't you sing? I forgot how to sing. I did.
Ah, there you are, wife.
What?
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loaser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Okay. Play along and take her arm with a grin. Tell the children they must be mistaken. Squint at the lot of them. Who's Lucy? Say she must have you confused with someone else. Look at the passel of dirty kids and say they seem well enough like brats to you. That's a bit mean. Go on, play along.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else.
Josephine Gribbles de Peeb. Okay.
What? What's so funny?
Nothing.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
So that's true enough. Shake a hand. Lucy, you presume? Ask if she couldn't find some more age-appropriate companions. More concerned with survival than entertainment. That's probably true, but let's not tell her that just yet. Let's go for number one.
You presume right.
Ask if she knows anything about the murder that happened on board. Tell her she ought to have a look around with you. Watch each other's backs. Don't trust her that much yet.
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Unless you want to have a look around with you, you can watch each other's backs. Okay, I don't... Doesn't seem that interested in finding out, so probably not. Let's take that
Suddenly,
leave.
her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Okay. That's not worrying.
Good luck, Chief.
Kinda glad I didn't ask her to watch my back now.
Please, please, please.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
I like him.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Your kind always hung closest to our divine.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, Gero. You hear that?
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here.
Girl, tell him he ought to think twice before addressing you like a child. No, I don't need that kind of trouble just yet. Ask what you're meant to be hearing, wave his request away and ask him what he knows about the murder on board, take your leave. What am I meant to be hearing?
The ship, of course.
Quiet and listen to the sounds of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
And the ship is moaning like a sick man, so the sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capsize the ship. Like that your shipmates are as chatty as gulls, you can barely hear over the din. Let's go for the moaning one.
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
Okay.
There now, just like that.
Narrator has become telepathic and told me squeak.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, Gero. Good news.
Not that I heard it. What's it supposed to be?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
The wheel.
Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Ask why he's so excited about reaching Fort Joy. You haven't heard anything good about the place? No, he must be a practiced sailor. Ask what the figure means to him.
I shall hold my head steady.
I'm going to compliment his magnificent beard.
Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate. Even here.
Why is he so excited about reaching Fort Joy? You haven't heard anything good about the place.
Yeah, no indeed, Gero. But that ain't my final destination.
He's not planning on sticking around then.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank ye kindly, Gero.
Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Cock an eyebrow. If he's hatching an escape plan you want in, say nothing, but look him over once before leaving. You may want to find him again inside Fort Joy. Go for the escape plan.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
Okay, well, let's go.
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Okay.
You've got this
Right.
wolf on a leash now.
What have we got here?
As soon as the
Bottle of beer.
Inquisitor gets here, we'll hand
Oh, I can
you
take
free
that.
over the side of the ship with it.
Okay.
Sing us a song. I know you can.
That's enough now.
Blimey.
It was one of
I've
them.
just picked up an entire barrel.
Would you put
That's
a
a
buckle
little,
in it? I'm
a
trying
little
to
ridiculous.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll
I
give
could
you
combine
that
that with
knuckle if
something.
you keep carrying on.
That's a little ridiculous. Let's leave that there.
One by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think we're mad?
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too.
Maya. Okay.
Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
I always knew you'd turn
Okay.
out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always...
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse.
Don't you call me a fetcher.
All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Ask what you must.
The nerve. Slap away his hand hard.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that.
What has he got?
Now then,
Done.
to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Laugh and say you can hardly tell a turkey from a turnip.
Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips.
Turnips are the demon's testes. That is a reference to Blackadder, I think.
On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Stick a thumb through one of the holes in your garb and say these provide cool in summer.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Rubbing your chin, telling me you're trying to recall the last time you bathed. What month is this?
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
I will assume a sad face and tell him I'm mightily disappointed.
I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
Yes, I aspire to be your slave.